Folks, welcome back. Oh, I'm excited again. I am excited to make videos again because I'm not going to lie to you. In the past few months, it hasn't been as fun. Everyone was overly positive. You know, it was a scalper's paradise. It was very hard to find anyone saying negative stuff about the hobby. But now you're starting to see the investments PokeTubers turn bearish. You're starting to hear people very worried about every reprint that comes our way. You're seeing people take small downturns and blow them up into this big deal like the market's crashing. And as always, they're completely ignoring all the positive things and positive signs happening throughout the market because they want to promote this new agenda of bearishness and market crash. And although obviously there's always fluctuations in the market, of course certain things are down. But again, why aren't we talking about all the things that are up? Like this Magic card. I don't really see any content about the Paldea Evolved Magikarp right now. Why is that? This card was a $1,200 to $1,300 card in a PSA 10 literally about a month ago. We just had the last auction end at $3,000. $3,000. That is a 150% gain on that card in about a month. Now, you're going to have, obviously, all the negative Nancy's come out of the woodwork. Alex, that's got to be manipulation. It's got to be a buyout. Okay. Or could it be what I know others have said all along? If Paldea Evolve doesn't get a reprint and we don't get any higher quality print runs, that card's going to go to the moon in the future. Guess what? We're in the future now, and that card's going to the moon. Why is anybody surprised? Why is it surprising that a card that has a very low gem rate of one of the most popular artists in the hobby right now, of Magikarp, a very top tier collectible Pokemon in, mind you, the top booster box set of the era? I'm not here to debate with you on what I like better. It is right now the most expensive booster box in the era of over $310. Why is it any wonder why that card is rising in price? People are starting to look and they're saying, where can I put my money? Well, the early Scarlet Violet era has less than a year to go out of rotation. Very unlikely it's going to get more reprints. Let's look at the boxes. Maybe I'll start making some plays in the boxes. That's why you see Paldea Evolve rising. Let's look at the cards inside these sets. Oh, this Magikarp card's very sought after, popular artist, very low gem rate. Probably want to get some of those. And there you have it. That is what's happening, folks. This is how markets operate. Smart money moves to things where they see opportunities that people are not seeing at the time of because they're so worried about all the negative news. By the way, let's talk about some more positivity. I thought Destined Rivals was going to collapse. I thought Destined Rivals was everywhere at this time. The hobby's slowing down. Destined Rivals has crashed to the low price of $250 a booster box. Selling in the 260s pre-release, crashed to 250, a whole 10%, holding up strong. The Mewtwo card, the top card in the set, it is running back up. It's actually going upwards after release. I think there's like one listing left on TCG Player in near mint under $400, and then all the rest are right at $400 or above. And so it's actually climbing back closer to its pre-release price. Where's all the negative people? Why aren't we talking about that? Oh, I get it. It doesn't fit the agenda. Everything's crashing. My bad. Sorry. Surging Sparks, pretty decent sized reprint. Everyone was quick to say that everything was going to crash. Big reprints are here. It's time to dump. Surging Sparks, complete 180, running back up. Mid 240s. Not many listings left. It's close to running into the 250s. What is that, like 10% off the all-time highs? Is that bad? Are we worried about 10% fluctuations now? That we got to dump everything? Market crash? Maybe. What else is going on in the market? Prismatic Evolutions. Oh, my good friend Prismatic. Well, it was supposed to crash, right? We got the reprints. We got the Costco drops. Everyone was freaking out. I got called every name in the book for saying that it was a good buy between $100 to $120. It dipped below $100 for a brief second. I actually did a little research myself. If you guys ever want to do this for yourself, it took me until the 7th page of listings on TCG Player, the 7th page, before I found the first seller that has more than 10,000 sales on their account, and they had them listed for $120. everyone else that was listing them between 100 to 110 right now, go get on TCG Player right now as you're watching this video and look at the listings. They're all from newbie sellers. Everyone who's been in the hobby for any amount of time, who has an established selling account, is not selling them this cheap. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Do you think they know something all the Timmies don't? What is happening right now is all of the people who are here for a quick buck and don't understand long-term appreciation, they're quickly dumping their ETBs and they are running out quick. I believe at the time of making this video, it's already ran back up into the mid 100s, like $105, $107 in ETB. I fully expect it to be back in the $110 plus in ETB with this week. And the whole crash thing is going to be over. And everyone's going to be like, I don't get it. It must be more manipulation. All these people are evil. No, there's just that much demands. The booster packs, I believe, are back in the 1080s, running back up to $11 a pack, and likely going to keep running. And it's getting people angry again. And instead of admit they're wrong, no one ever wants to admit they were wrong. They just get angry and blame more people and more circumstances and say Pokemon needs to keep printing more, all these different things, because they just don't understand the level of demand for that set. And so you're looking at Prismatic, you're saying, well, things are running back up, both single pack and ETB wise. The only people selling the stuff that cheap on the ETBs are all people with a brand new accounts, a few sales, a couple hundred sales, all very new accounts. And everyone who's been in the hobby a long time at all and has established seller accounts, they're all listing it at 120, 120 plus. And so, usually what people say is you follow the money. You follow the people with, large amounts of money. You follow the smart money. Well, all of those people are not dumping their positions. They're all holding. I know my local card shop still has them listed at 120 in ETB. They're not dumping them. So either all these people are just shills, or we all know something that all the bearish negative people don't. And so the best way I can illustrate this is Hidden Fates. Right now, look up what Hidden Fates is going for. It's over $400 in ETB. Now, a lot of you weren't around back in 2019. I was, though. And anyone that was, you can corroborate the story. By the way, just go on YouTube and type in Hidden Fates ETB's release or 2019. Same thing happened, guys. They were $100 plus ETBs after release. $100 plus for Hidden Fates ETB. Heard all the same stuff. It's going to get reprinted into the ground. It has to. Pokemon has to reprint it. It did get multiple reprints. It did have price fluctuations. But everyone said, don't buy this product. $120 is a ripoff. The product was released not even 6 years ago. It's already over $400, meaning if you would have bought that ETB at the same price you're buying Prismatic Evolutions, you would have made over 300% on your money. 300% on your money in under 6 years. For a set that was released during, right at the beginning of the mass panic hysteria of the pandemic and all that craziness, right? Everything was overpriced, after the whole pump and dump, right? And you still tripled your money in under 6 years. And this is what people are afraid of. This is the data people don't like to tell you, right? They want to just throw random things like, but look at Shining Fates! Alex, look what happened there. It's just like, we're comparing Shining Fates to Prismatic Evolutions. Why not compare Hidden Fates, one of the other most hyped sets of the time, right smack dab in the middle of the boom, that got multiple reprints that people were paying $120 for? Why don't we talk about that set? No, that doesn't fit the narrative. Look at this one set that didn't perform well. Why don't we look at, Chilling Reign? That got reprinted down to 80, and some people did pay $150 a box at release for it. Well, if you paid $150 a box at release, you still made what? Almost 200% on your money right now? 200%-ish, and it's been only like 3 years. Can we talk about that? No, don't look at that. Look at only the stuff that did poorly. Oh, okay. So you just want everyone to be fearful. I got it. Guys, I just named like 4 or 5 different things. All are moving up. All are remaining strong. Sales are happening. The hobby's booming. And everyone's worried. Why? Why are we worried? It's like watching the same people come on CNBC week in and week out and yelling a real estate crash is upon us, or yelling a stock market crash is upon us, or any of these ridiculous things. And it never happens, right? If you would have listened to a lot of these people, you would have not been investing in the stock market for the last 5 years. You would have not bought a house for the last 5 years. How'd that work out for you? Are interest rates any better? Are prices any lower? Didn't think so. And look, again, everything I say gets taken out of context because, something will get reprinted and people will be like, Alex, you were wrong. I told you this box, it got reprinted. It was here and now it's here. You were wrong. I'm not saying that. I am not saying in one part of my conversation that there will not be a day where Destin Rivals is cheaper than it is right now. I'm not going to say you'll never find a prismatic ETB cheaper than it is right now. I'm not saying any of those things. I'm not even saying that you won't find a Magikarp cheaper than $3,000 again. All I'm saying is usually doing nothing and not taking any action is how you miss out. Those are usually the people that never get involved because I'll tell you I will tell you the mind tricks that it plays on people that are worried about every fluctuation in the market. Here's how it is. Things are high. People don't want to buy because things are too high. They don't want to lose money. Things will go down, okay? Nobody wants to buy because they don't want to catch a falling knife. It's called catching a falling knife. You don't want to buy when it's still on the way down. Things will literally bottom out. They'll sit there they'll sit there for a while. They'll go stagnant for months. People don't want to buy because they think it's over. See, Alex, I told you everything crashed, so it's not coming back. Then things will come up a little bit and they'll say, oh man, okay, well, once it comes back down, once I see some more deals, then I'm going to get in. It will come back down again, right? And people will say, I don't know though. I think it says the crash. I think that was just a little dead cat bounce. I don't think it's going. And then it'll run up again and they'll miss out. They'll say, well, now I missed my chance on that product. And it'll keep running and running and running. And then they'll move on to the next product and come up with the same excuses. And so again, I know everyone thinks I just create FOMO and I shill everything. I'm telling you right now, I said this at the beginning of the year and I got heat for it. I said, if you bought every Scarlet Violet booster box at market price, January 2025, you will be likely up money January 2026. And guess what? In 2026, I'll say the same thing. 2027, I'll say the same thing. Overall, the sealed products will continue to rise in value overall. Will there be a reprint here or there on a specific set or two? Of course. Of course. Will certain cards and certain sets have downturns and go stagnant at times? Of course. Overall as a whole, it's just like a mutual fund or an index fund. Overall as a whole, Pokemon Steel product continues to rise over time. Last but not least, I made a video like this. Please go do your own research. Stop listening to the nonsense online, guys. Please, I beg you, pricecharting.com. Go look at Rebel Clash and Sword and Shield base sets and Cosmic Eclipse and Unbroken Bonds and Unified Minds and a Team Up, and go look at all of the early Sword and Shield sets and late Sun and Moon sets. Go look at all the Sun and Moon XY sets. You will find very few that were affected at all, an inch, a dollar, when Shining Fates got reprinted, Chilling Reign got reprinted, Battle Styles got reprinted, Fusion Strike got reprinted, Vivid Voltage got reprinted, Darkness Ablaze got reprinted. Very few, if any, of the sets before that, even in the same era, had price drops. And so this belief that, Alex, if they keep reprinting Prismatic or they reprint Destin or whatever, or they print the new series much more, it's going to cause this like ripple effect that drops the price of all these other sets. You're out of your mind. You're just out of your mind. There's nothing that shows that. And unfortunately, me saying that gets me hate because, oh, I have to be creating FOMO. I'm a shill. Stop trying to keep prices high. I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm a guy with 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. By the way, thanks to all of you who did subscribe to the channel. All the haters as well for watching the videos. I appreciate you. Keep your tears coming. But I truly do appreciate you guys. Thanks for the getting us here and the continued growth. But I'm a guy with 30,000 subs. The videos get anywhere from, 10 to 15,000 views, right? I'm not making, as much as, people want to think so, I am not making a substantial impact on the market, okay? Before all this happened, all this craziness in the past, 6 to 8 months, PokeRev, who gets hundreds of thousands of views, would talk about sets that he liked, would talk about cards that he likes. It did not make an impact on the market. So the fact that you think someone, a minuscule amount of the size of someone like PokeRev has a huge effect, you're out of your mind. You're just coping with the fact that there are millions of people around the world that want this stuff and that have the money to afford this stuff and keep buying this stuff. That's all it is, guys. It's free market. Deal with it. That's all I got. Hope you enjoyed the video. We're out.